Hi everyone, welcome to FilmDirt. For this one I'm going to be talking about Star Wars. It's now called A New Hope, but no one calls it A New Hope. It will always be Star Wars to me. What more can we say apart from how fantastic and monumental this movie is? It's the reason that a lot of filmmakers are in the industry today, because from that generation that witnessed Star Wars became fascinated with cinema and are now trying to make something as important as Star Wars. I mean, it's not just a job, we're all fans of movies and that experience of being sucked into a great movie. And Star Wars really had it all. You had a princess, you had a wizard, the leading man, you had a young boy who has dreams of joining the cause, an absolutely badass, outstanding villain. It's just all of the check boxes. They're all ticked off with this movie, aren't they? And I think George Lucas really captured lightning in a bottle here. I mean, it's absolutely incredible, isn't it? You've gone from sheer spectacle with the opening few minutes of the movie and into a lot of soul searching with a story with a lot of heart. And there's no real battle scenes until the second half of the movie, really, when you think about it. You've got some tales of how our protagonist wants to get off this planet and has got aspirations and dreams. And that's a good message there for any young person who wants to progress in life. And that's probably how George Lucas maybe saw himself. He just went out there and followed his dream. He didn't have much money, by all accounts, from what we hear. He just went out and begged and sold himself, basically, to every studio in town that turned him down. And luckily, he got his big break. It's like when you're just asking around for your friends for help, because you don't have the resources otherwise. I mean, there's some good scenes here where it may look cheap, and you've got some background robots here that are pulled along on wires and look a bit flimsy, but with the right editing and sound design, you make it work. And it helps when you've got everything that looks used. So you can have a pile of rubbish and build something with arms and legs, and you've got something. I mean, a lot of the cast are quoted as saying that when they were working on it, it just came across as a low budget cash grab almost, because everything was broken and didn't work and a bit tatty. And then the finished article, it worked. I mean, that's a fantastic message there, to be patient and just keep following your dreams. And there is a strong parallel here between the filmmaker and the story he's writing. It's a good life message here. The whole film is pure. It's the old school qualities of what a children would want to go and see at the cinema. You don't need to think too much. You cheer for the hero who's saving the damsel in distress and defeating the villain. I mean, I don't think there's any bigger name in movie history than Star Wars. And like I said earlier, you've got a huge spectacle of a first scene. I mean, it's absolutely amazing that a small ship is trying to get away, and you've got a massive, and he's being chased by a bigger ship that seems never ending. And then the adventure starts, doesn't it? I mean, there's been a lot of articles about the special edition over the years and how much you can tinker with old art, I guess, that everyone appreciates. Is it in danger of becoming something else and not what we loved before. But I think most of the changes that George Lucas made to the film, I think it's been for the better. I mean, there was some, I wouldn't say shoddy, but some special effects maybe didn't hold up over time because, like we know, because they didn't have much money and maybe they needed updating. I mean, it's very common now to remaster a film and fix a lot of the more janky looking effects. I mean, a lot of studios do it without even announcing on the DVD. In the old Superman movies, they did do a little bit of wire removal and maybe cleaning up matte lines here and there. It's very common. But George was the first to do it famously and bring attention to the practice of altering his work. I mean, when you think about it, it is his work. I would have left some of the changes alone, such as Han Solo shooting first. I think that's a valuable part of his character and it makes him a real badass. I mean, he doesn't want to listen to this guy chatting nonsense in front of him. Sometimes when people don't listen, you just want to blow them away and move on with your life. Get out of the way. That was kind of fixed, I think, in the recent 4K, the Disney Plus version, but it was still better like it used to be. But I think all the others, or maybe most of the other changes, I think they're for the better, really. I'm a huge supporter of George Lucas, and possibly having all these very dated looking effects nagged him over the years, and he was in a position to correct it as he saw fit. I mean, thankfully he didn't completely change the film more. This is a valuable part of cinema. I mean, you could fix a couple of the shots, but not change the whole lot. I think there will be a riot with some of the Star Wars fans that we know of. I mean, as it is, it's amazing, and it still needs to be seen on the big screen, and it still holds up as is. The most valuable movie in cinema and the most valuable trilogy. We get through a lot of story and very well told, and then the big ending with the Death Star blowing up, but it's not the end because the Empire, they regroup in the next film and the adventure continues. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic. I've got to give this a 5 stars. I mean, I can absolutely appreciate that people took this film to their hearts and find it a valuable part of their lives. I can't really find any faults with it, apart from a couple of the corrections, I guess you could say. But other than that, I love this movie. It's probably my first or second favourite film, depending on how I woke up that morning. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic. So, like I said, definitely a 5 stars movie, and I'm going to be reviewing Empire Strikes Back next time. And I can't wait for that, because that one is my favourite one. So, thanks a lot for joining me. And just to finish off with a little bit about myself, all my views are my own. I'm not part of any studio incentive scheme, not even any free tickets, and all my reviews are genuine. So that's it from me. I really appreciate you joining me, and it was good talking to you. See you next time. Take care.